Love you, Mommy. Thank you for all you did. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. I'm extremely grateful for all my mother has done for me. She's sacrificed many hours, days, weeks, and months to help me. She's been there when I need her. She's just great.
I grew up in a Christian home. I was very blessed in that respect. There were prayers in the mornings, there were prayers at mealtime, there were prayers at bedtime. There was church on Sunday morning, there was church on Sunday evening, there was church on Wednesday if they were having it, which was rare. My mother was involved in United Methodist Women. My parents taught Sunday school. They chaperoned youth trips, even when my brothers and I were not old enough to be involved in youth. In short, my parents taught, and my mother particularly, how to walk the walk. More importantly, though, she taught that the Bible is to be read, the Bible is to be studied, and that it's important. It's important to know what the Bible says. She taught me to trust and not fear. She taught me that it's God's job to do the judging, and my job just to love people. She taught me it was important to pray for other people and to let them know that you were praying for them. She taught me, though, that your faith is not really for show. It's very personal and very, very real. I didn't become a Christian because of my mother. I became a Christian because Jesus Christ touched my heart. My mother got my heart ready.
Happy Mother's Day, Mommy. I love you. You know, you're always here for me and my brothers. No matter what we do, no matter how dumb it is, you're always there and you know what to do. You support us. You know, I go to you whenever I'm scared or upset or mad. You know, you and I gossip about anything. You're my to-go, and I know I'm here for you too. You're always here for me. I love you. I don't know what I could do without you. You helped me so much in my education and growing up to be the person I am now and growing up in the future, and I love you for that, and you're always going to be here for me, and I'm always going to be there for you no matter what. I love you. Happy Mother's Day.
I love you, Mommy. Thank you for all you do. Happy Mother's Day.
My mother affected my faith by teaching me that faith is a matter of family. One day we had been in some kind of argument. We were driving to church and I didn't want to go. And she said, "I saw you set your jaw, Kathryn." Now, as many of you know, my father is also a United Methodist pastor. And what my mom said next then really affected my faith. She said, "You're not having to go to church just because you're the preacher's daughter. You go to church because you're John and Virginia's daughter." And that affected me in how I think about my faith, that faith is a matter of family. Since my mother's death, I have been blessed that I now have a stepmother. And Ginger's faith has affected my understanding of faith too. She came into a preacher's family very, very late. And she brought her own faith with her. She doesn't go to church because she's the preacher's wife, or, in her poor circumstances, the preacher's stepmother or the preacher's stepmother-in-law. Her faith is her own, and she goes to church because she's Ginger Taylor. And both of these people have profoundly affected my faith. And so I give thanks for them on this Mother's Day.
My mom means a lot to me because she is a really good teacher. She's not a teacher, but she teaches us a lot. She's really supportive and she's a big inspiration. It's just wonderful to see a powerful woman succeeding, and I'm proud to say that she's my mom. And yeah, happy Mother's Day.
As I think about the influence that my mother had on my faith, I think about my mother taking my twin sister and me to church. Also, there were many Bibles in our house. There was always one close by. But most important, my mother taught us how to live in relationship with God and our family. She did this by example. She put herself last compared to the needs of her family and her friends.
Hi, Mom. I just want to say Happy Mother's Day. Thank you for supporting me in all my years, giving me a roof to live under, and standing by me, loving me, and I love you. Thank you again.
When I think how my mother affected my faith, the good thing is there's a lot of people that'll be watching this that knew her and knew her well. Overall, I'd say that the reason my mom, Verna Edwards, was such an influence on my faith was she was a Christian by example. She was a disciple by example. And many of the parables that Jesus taught us, she lived out in true life for our family. Doing good works and thinking about other people. It's kind of like that poem that the columnist Edgar Guest said one time. He wrote that I'd rather see a sermon than hear one any day. And that's what my mom, that's how she affected my faith. She was a great example Christian.
Hi, Mom. I love you, and thank you for all the stuff you do for me, and thank you for trying and being there for me when I need you. Happy Mother's Day.
I just wanted to say Happy Mother's Day to my mom, my best friend, one who has cared for me, and I love her so much. It means the world to me. Happy Mother's Day.
Hi, my name is Ben Gilmore, and I'm going to speak to you briefly about Mom's influence on my religious education. It all began at the kitchen table when I was a young child. She would read from a book called The Good News Illustrated New Testament. It was loaded with pictures and maps, and I just loved pictures and maps. And that went on for years. She would read various chapters out of this book. Of course, back then in the 50s, it was a black and white. They now have a new edition with colored pictures. All right, back to Mom. She would oftentimes, in fact, usually take us to church on Sunday school and church, because Dad worked six and a half days managing a service station. So she primarily took us. Just occasionally Dad would accompany us. And I do particularly remember Mom driving me during confirmation to Churchill Way Presbyterian Church in Dallas on Sunday afternoons for the weeks it took for confirmation. I remember it being very significant. I can distinctly remember it. So anyway, most of my early education with religion came from what I got in Sunday school and from Mom's influence. Thank you.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I love you. You've always been here for me, and I don't know what I would ever do without you. I really appreciate all the things you have done for me and all the hard stuff that you've done for me, and I love you.
I love my mom because she's always there for me when I need her.
I love my mom because she's supportive and helpful to me.